Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where I'll be doing technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and 150 likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing and help us get to 10,000 subscribers. Now, let's get to the market. Trump says he has no intent of firing Fed Chair Powell. That's one thing, but there were many tweets, many things came out. There is going to be a deal with lots of countries, including China. All day we had some good news, at least from Trump, that there are good things coming our way. And guess what? Market rallied all day today. And even right now, after that tweet, market is up almost 2%, especially Nasdaq. Now, I want to show you guys something. This video came out yesterday where I actually waited. This is actually, and I actually encourage you guys go and watch this video, especially first maybe 10 minutes. Just watch it. You're gonna like what I said right here in this video, and this is actually the stock market update. Bears in danger. And guess what? There were some negative comments, why like market selling off, and I'm talking about bears in danger. Should be bulls in danger, because I do it a different way. When everybody is bear, I'm not a bear, and that's what I saw yesterday, and I made this video late. Now, talking about trade ideas, guys, especially people that are serious, and I do have these tiers right here. You can join on Patreon. That link will be down below in the description. We had SPX calls. I just sold Intel shares. He probably got only 100 shares, so he made 130 bucks. I had 800 shares I just sold. Here's another one coming up. We had Meta calls. We also had DIA calls, 50% right here on DIA. CRM that I called out yesterday, still holding. Look at right here. Supra, can afford a Supra now, definitely. $4,200 on the day. Chevron, we took calls knowing that earnings are close. 40% on that play from my end. I took profit on that one. Meta calls, you can see DI at 35, depending on where you got in. 35 to 40% was there. Tesla shares we bought yesterday, we sold because of earnings, up more than $10 a share. Then this is mine today on a small account. DIA calls, Meta calls. We got lows calls here. Chevron calls, SPX calls, and then we got more DIA calls. We got SPX calls right here, 1800. Then you have lows right here, 40%. UNH, that's a position that I took swing, still holding DIA. We got more Meta. We got DIA calls. Some people, they were holding SPY calls instead of SPX, because that's a larger product. Then we have DIA, more DIA SPX right here, low DIA calls. We got Chevron calls. We got FedEx calls. We got Chevron calls. We got Chevron again. And these were from yesterday that we took on Netflix and Mera, and they both paid. So all these trade ideas are available. And I think this one already came in right here. Tesla shares up 17 per share. So this is fantastic. We took these trades yesterday. I'm not going to share my swing trade ideas, because there were some reports where people were stealing some of these ideas and not paying for it. So unfortunately, I'll share some in my X account, and you guys can see that. But if you're really serious about trading, guys, definitely check out that link down below in the description for Patreon. You also have that link right down here. If you go into my Discord, you'll see it. Join the Patreon, and how to get started, and all that will be right here, so you can get started and get all these fantastic trade ideas. And now let's get to the market and the big names and see what they're doing. So the market itself, Dow is up 2.66%. I mean, you can see we caught that massive move to the upside here on Dow Jones. And then we got Nasdaq going up nearly 3%, and now it's up another 2% right after closing, because of those tweets from Trump. S&P up 2.5%. Russell going up. There is a big position we took on Russell, still holding 2.59%. We got 11 sectors, pretty much everything in the green, and consumer cyclical, guys. I mean, Amazon was going ballistic today. Financial also did good. Communication services, Meta, Google, everything is good. Utilities, technology, everything is in the green. Stock market map, well, green pretty much across the board. This is what everyone wants to see. Apple, I took some calls yesterday. I called it live that Apple calls 190. If you guys are interested, people that were actually live, Patreon members, if you took it, I know a few people took Apple and they were still waiting for a 200 to come so they can sell. I took few calls and Apple paid today over 300%. These were weekly calls, guys. Amazon right here up 3.5%. You can see Meta, we took calls up over 3%. Tesla, we sold those shares. Microsoft also up on the day, Nvidia up, and pretty much everything going green. And now let's talk about Tesla. They just released earnings and it's a miss, but we will talk about Tesla, why it's not going down significantly. So before we get to Apple, guys, I just want to have a look at it quickly because now Nasdaq and Triple Q is up nearly 2%. And you can see we're going to open somewhere here tomorrow, guys. Right here, 452, 454. And this is that trend line and the gap here on top. Now, if that breaks, I know that's going to be a shorting opportunity for a lot of people. I might go in and maybe short if this thing stays up. That's the main concern. If it stays up tomorrow, right here at this trend line after gap, getting filled, maybe that's an opportunity. But the reason for to bring this up in this video, there is a reason because yesterday, the negative vibes were there, guys. Everywhere you look at it on YouTube, you look at on X, people were just extremely bearish, and who? Well, us retail traders, investor. People talking about, oh, this is nothing. It's gonna go down even more. I'm already thinking about 460. I mean, how? Just because we're in downtrend does not mean that. And I even said that. So, I really encourage you guys to go and check out that video where I said that one tweet can change this around very quickly. And the shorts will have, nothing to cover. You know, Pants are going to be ripped off and the bears are going to be hunted down. And this is exactly what you're going to see if this rally stays where it is right now, right after closing. I mean, it's up nearly 2%, guys. So keep an eye on this and never doubt when the market is down that it's going to be a doomsday and everything is done and everything is gone and you're not going to make money. And I said it in that video yesterday on Stock Market Update that these are opportunities for us. So, I don't feel like people that are watching my video that everyone should agree. But this is coming out of a guy who's been doing this for almost 25 years now. A lot of these YouTubers that are making videos, they were not even born, when I started trading. So, and then if you talk about some of these guys that are, uh, putting out these, flows that are coming in, calls or puts, those are not even accurate. These are delayed things that you're seeing and you're buying puts and you're losing money when the market wants you to buy the dip, and that's an opportunity. Now, yes, when the market was, hitting all-time highs, I'm not going to be bullish here. And it's always the case. You go and watch all my videos from past 4 years, you're going to hear the same thing in my video. I'm not bullish here, I'll buy the dip. I'm not going to be short here, I'm going to be long. Over and over. So now, Apple, guys, I mean, this was fantastic. Yesterday, I called it live in my Discord that Apple, anybody wants it, 190 support, and just hop in, whatever you wanna, get here on Apple. And look at this move. We just traded Apple long here, got out here, and then picked up again yesterday. And look at the pump today. We did not even close this gap from today, 193.80, and now trading over 200, guys. So fantastic opportunities. I know they come and go. And if you're not grabbing, guess what? You will be chasing, and there will be a lot of people, crying and chasing tomorrow because market just did the thing that market usually does. Everybody's scared and market runs higher. And what if that trend line breaks? What if that trend line, that down trend line breaks on those ETFs? SPY, Triple Q, Dow Jones, shorts are going to be nowhere to be found, guys. Now, yes, I'm not saying that we're completely out of the woods yet, but these were great opportunities. Look at how much money we made in last 3 weeks. This month has been fantastic, especially for myself and my Patreon members if they're taking the right calls that I'm calling. So, if you're just shorting blindly or going long blindly at near all-time highs, you're not gonna make money. But you can see these were fantastic opportunities. Another opportunity came, we took it here. This was a higher low, and now look at this, 205 here on Apple. So imagine, and at some point, I know some YouTubers and some people out there will agree that dust will settle, news will come out, and China and US will have a deal and the market will fly and bears will die. Let me just put it that way, guys. So Apple going into tomorrow's session, 198, your key line is in. If we come back to close the gap, which I don't know if we're coming back here, that's a $10 move to the downside. Unless we get some bad news, then forget about it. These tweets are moving the market. I also said that in my video. So, if there is some bad news, yes, we can come back down. Now, as long as it's over 198, it's heading higher up to, now it's at 204. So this white line 20-day moving average breaks, the next stop 207, and from there, it can actually target this massive gap to the upside, 221 on Apple. On Microsoft, it's up 2%, and now it's up another 2%. So, talking about big rallies, I mean, look at this move. We almost came down to this lows, and people were just not interested buying. At least some people that I see not interested buying. And now look at this. It was down here at 355, and now you can chase at 375. That is a $20 move within just 48 hours. Where else you can make this much money? Not going into a Burger King and flipping burgers. I don't think you can do that. But you need technicals, you need guts to go in and buy the dip. Not like, imagine you're short here. Imagine you shorted Microsoft here or any other things in the market, and now that is a almost 5% move you're seeing since the sell-off took place yesterday, and we closed yesterday red for the day, guys. That is huge. Now, Microsoft, it's going to open over this 372.66 range tomorrow. If that's the case, watch out for more upside, maybe 379 to 384. To the downside, 372, that's going to be a line in the sand, 372.66. Below that, 366. And if that gives up, we might be pulling back again. We do have earnings coming up end of this month, which is going to be next week on Microsoft. Now, Tesla. I even forgot to talk about Tesla first. Yes, they did have earnings today, and it's not that good. But why? I was a bit bullish going into this earnings, and I said it in my video before that Tesla, I think it might be priced in because already from 488 down to nearly 200, guys. We bought shares yesterday on this dip right here. Exactly, my average was 223 or 224 right here, and that's where I got in. But because of earnings, I got out. It was only 100 shares, so nothing big. I sold. I think it was $11 a share. Somebody else just posted. He made $17 a share. So kudos to him. It's good. I mean, as long as you make money, it doesn't matter. It could be 500 or it could be 500,000. As long as you're making money, that's the only thing that actually matters. Now, if you look at Tesla here tomorrow, I think it can run. If this thing can actually hold over 240, it can run up to 258, maybe even 280. And at some point, you're going to see this breakout from this trend line. And I'm going to take a position here on Tesla definitely tomorrow. And we do have another position that we sold some of it right here on this big rally and still have half a position. And these are really, really long-term position on Tesla, and I might just go and even add to it because now earnings are behind and this thing can run. If this thing breaks this trend line at some point, there is that gap at 401, guys. So, I know it's not going to go there tomorrow or maybe next week or the next month, but think big. Tesla can do it. It did it many times before, and it can do it again. So, Tesla definitely keep it right on your radar next few days. Amazon stock, look at this. We came all the way down here, and 165 under 167. We did close over 167 yesterday, and from there now $180. So we had that massive rally right here, and now we had the pullback because of course, how Amazon is, really relying on China's, product, right? A lot of these things that are sold on Amazon from China. and that deal is coming. Trust me, that deal is coming. It's going to be a good one, like Trump says. I believe on that. Whenever that's going to come, it's going to be a good one. Market is going to like it. And I don't want to say it too early, but don't count this market out, especially under Trump's watch. How this man can move the market, and that's why I said last night in that video that Trump can actually make one tweet and then boom, market will go ballistic. Now he can also kill that market with one tweet, but that's going to be an opportunity, not where you go and short inside the hole. That is an opportunity where we got no opportunities on Biden's watch. It was just going. It was a slow grind up, pretty much. We had some opportunities, but nothing like this, guys. Back when Trump was in office and we had COVID, we had great opportunities. That's where I made a lot of my money in the stock market. And again, this man is back. And so far, like I said, we're doing really good with these trades. Maybe one or two not paying. If one, two, maybe three trade ideas are not paying, there is like seven, eight paying. So end of the day, these trades are paying. And if three is not working out, I don't care. As long as my, five, seven, eight, nine, 10 trades are working, that's all matters because you need to win more and lose less. So here on Amazon tomorrow, depending on where things open, we did hold today 173. If that holds tomorrow, and it can get over 180, next stop 184, and then 190. Now, Google is another one that actually got really beaten down. And look at this, guys, 157 now. We do have earnings coming out. I think that's Thursday. So Google can have that earnings run up. And the next stop will be right here at 162. If that breaks, it's heading up for 170. Tomorrow, Google comes down and stays over 155. That would be bullish. Maybe buy the dip right here. If this thing opens over 155, it's definitely running higher. Now, under 155, it can come down, possibly down to 152 and then 148. So Netflix was up over 5% today, but this thing is overextended. So there is no play, nothing here on Netflix, and looks like what could be a double top here. We had the same, high right here, 1,064, and again 1,064 today, and then we saw that pullback. And it's way outside the Bollinger Band, so there is no trade on Netflix unless it takes over this high 1,064. Then we can talk about possibly 1,100, but this thing is so high. If you're buying puts on Netflix, I know these are expensive. I think over time, in couple months, this thing will come down just like it did before. And I called it that 800, 700, that can actually happen right here on Netflix, but it's going to take time. If you're shorting and you're not buying time, these contracts are expensive. You're going to lose money. That's why there is no trade on Netflix, especially from my point of view, unless you're going really, really long, out of the money puts on Netflix. Now tomorrow, only over this high, 1100. If this thing comes back down to right here, 1029, that breaks right here. It can actually come down to 1000, and that's where things will take a turn if this thing breaks this rising wedge or this bear flag pattern and this trend line right here. As a matter of fact, I can put it right here, guys. Let me just put it right here. So you can see there is actually a nice trend line going on straight up here on Netflix. Only if that breaks, you're going to see a dump off, which is going to be around 1000 on Netflix. Then we can talk about more downside. On Meta, it's up over 3%, and now it's up another 3%. So we took these calls yesterday right here at 485, and this was fantastic. I mean, look at it, still running here on Meta. And even in my video that I made, I think that was on Sunday, and we talked about it, how Meta could be a nice move up to this gap. And you can also go and watch that video on big mega caps. That is exactly what I said. Play this gap, and now it's gonna be opening here tomorrow at this gap. So the next resistance here will be at 518. Support to watch definitely 500, and then below that we might be going down. But we do have earnings on Meta, so I'm not gonna go and try to short this thing right here. And I'm not even playing this anymore. I did play, I made my money, and now I'm not gonna go back and forth and do anything with this stock because of earnings. But yesterday was fantastic opportunity. I mean, if you caught right here, I mean, this could be a double bottom here, guys. So Meta, if this thing breaks this trend line, which is not breaking at this point, but this was really nice if you got in at the right time, or even somewhere here, let's say 480 to maybe 490, you got in. you made decent enough money right here on Meta for that call out that I made in my video over the weekend. On AMD, it's up 0.82%, and now it's up nearly 3%. So AMD ready to go. And you can see that was a higher low here. And now we do have earnings coming out next month. And now critical level to hold 85. And so far it's trading near 88. So maybe tomorrow we get to see AMD right here at 90. Over 90, it can go up to 94.62 to close this gap right up here. Critical support, like I said, 85. Below that, it can come down. But so far that's holding. So I don't think tomorrow we're gonna break this support and this thing would come down. Even today, 85 was low for the day after hitting 87, coming back and retesting and then going back up. So AMD, lots of opportunities, and if you're going long, there is tons of upside opportunities on AMD. Nvidia stock it's up 2%, and now with that news, it's up even more. And you can see even today, 96 did hold right here on Nvidia, and now this thing is trading over $100. So Nvidia going into tomorrow's session, don't forget there is a gap here just under 111. If this thing wants to run, the next big resistance to watch would be 107. Over that, we're definitely closing this gap right under 111. Downside support key zone to watch 96, and only if that breaks, we might be pulling back and possibly retesting this low down here, which is nearly 87 to 86. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a great night.